welcome everyone to the 6th annual Black Podcasting Awards. I don't know if you caught that story, but this all started from Twitter. Literally 6 years ago, right before the pandemic, we saw a tweet went out, a bunch of us were interested, and I'm an execution person. I'm like, how are we gonna actually make this happen? I made a form. I said, come on everybody, let's fill this out. Who's gonna take charge? Somehow I accidentally took charge in that moment. I did not expect that. But Demetrius has been running the show for the last few years. So I just want to say a huge thank you to him for making sure that this keeps happening every single year. You see him running around doing many different things, and he gives everyone else their thank you. So I want to definitely kick this off by saying thank you to Demetrius. So we have a wonderful night ahead, but who am I? I am Georgianne Gettin, one of the co-founders of the Black Podcasting Awards, alongside Demetrius as well as Lance. We have a few other co-founders who started but have not continued on, but this is all because of that initial moment. So here we are, 6 years later, and we're gonna be recognizing 43 categories tonight. Like, can we get a round of applause for that? 43 different categories. And so many of the winners are here in the room with us, but nonetheless, many of the nominees are also here. So I want you to all to give a round of applause to yourselves for being podcast listeners, podcast creators, audio teams, video teams. This would not be possible without you all here with us tonight. So to kick it off, we are going to start off with our very first category, which is Best New Podcast. So fresh voices, bold stories, and fearless creativities. These podcasters are the ones that made it to the nominations, and then we're going to find out the winner in just a moment. So if everyone could pay attention to the screen behind me.
Here are your nominees for Best New Podcast. Black and Cultivated.
I was all for it, yes. And I was very curious about different religions and different things at the time. I'd grown up Catholic, but I had studied like a lot of other.
The Chair.
Well, I grew up in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I went to school there, started school there, and then moved to the United States.
Thrive with Joy.
But nothing. You start to equate your availability to your worth. If I just show up, then people will appreciate me. If I just do what they ask me to do.
And the winner is Thrive with Joy.
Unfortunately, they couldn't join us tonight, but they will be getting their award in the mail. So the folks that could join us will be coming up here after they get their awards, and they're going to give y'all a little speech. So if you've been nominated, right, be prepared with your speeches, right? All right, so we're going to keep on going. The next category we're going to honor tonight is going to be Best History Podcast. History comes alive through the voices that share it, and we have to continue sharing history, and these podcasters are doing just that. So let's roll the clip to see who are the nominees and find out who the winner is for Best History Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best History Podcast. American Railroad.
So with them, that they were taken care of.
Historian Melinda Chateauvert also wrote a book on the Porters, Marching Together, Women of the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car.
Black is America.
Against Darlene Hart. And it looks like we're at match point. Take it away, Peter.
5-40 love and about 50 minutes play.
Our ancestors were messy.
These people, the doctors and the lawyers and the great thinkers of that day, are going to Howard, and then they're settling all around U Street, which they called Black.
And the winner is Our Ancestors Were Messy.
Big round of applause for our winners. Unfortunately, they also could not join us. Listen, in about a year from now, 2 years, we're going to have a whole stadium packed, and everyone will be there. We're going to affirm it. We're going to claim it right now. Next up, we're going to have Best Indie Podcast. Independent creators do it all. They start small and they grow big. Thankful to all of the listeners just like you. So let's roll the clip to see who are the Best Indie Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Indie Podcast. Embracing Your Voice.
But when it's racial, right, we tend to say, oh, that's just Tom being Tom, or that's just, they didn't mean any harm. You just need to have thick skin. And so the...
Stitch, please.
And very intentionally, I've actually focused in on just making crib size quilts now. Somehow that feels digestible, feels not...
Uncontrolled.
For you is, well, I guess before I tell you that, you want to know how I found you? Mm-hmm. Of course you do. Remember that email?
And the winner is Uncontrolled.
Woo! And I believe the host of this podcast is here. Is that correct? No? Okay, all right, we're going to skip that one. Okay, don't worry. There are some podcast winners that are here with us in the room tonight, but nonetheless, let's keep it going and move on to our next category. So our next category is going to be Best News and Politics Podcast. In a times like what we are experiencing right now, it is very important that we stay up to date with what's going on in the news and the politics, and podcasters in this category ensure we do just that. So we're going to go ahead and roll the clip for the nominees and the winner of the Best News and Politics Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best News and Politics Podcast. Democracy in Color with Steve Phillips.
Real focus on very material issues, again, of rent, of housing, of childcare, of transit, of groceries.
Earnestly Speaking with Ernest Owens.
Trump's direct command, but also against the urging of both her own subordinates and her predecessor, who had just been...
Queer News.
Family, let's end our stories today with this really great story coming out of Florida. And I love when there are stories about folks.
And the winner is Queer News.
For their fearless leadership and coverage, please join us in congratulating our winners and come on up to give us a little speech. So you can give us a speech right here. Yes, you can give a speech. I'm going to get you your award.
All right, I say family, you say family, family. Family. What an honor. I love that we do this for us. Aw, thanks. Hey, I love that we do this for us. We deserve this. This industry doesn't look like us. They don't amplify us. They don't show us no love. So thank you, Demetrius. Thank you to the Black Podcasting Awards team for continuing to do this thing. So I ain't going to take up no time. This is wonderful. Thank you so much.
We're glad to have you. Thank you so much. Next up, we're going to be talking all about the best blurred podcast. From comics to cosplay to clever commentary, these creators create Black nerd culture with pride and joy. So let's roll the reel for the best blurred podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Blurred Podcast. Modern Figures Podcast.
Balances. I thought the chair would want to see my syllabus. Like I remember showing Juan oh, this is what I plan to. He's like, I don't need that. But
I don't care. The Ultimate Blurreds.
We have crypto as well. And so that's kind of really what we focus on is being able to abstract the idea of needing technical.
Vaguely Nerdy.
And Abu Dress was based on it. So he's got a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of books and whatnot. He actually did some writing on Star Trek Discovery for a little bit.
And the winner is Vaguely Nerdy.
Let's give them a round of applause. Even though they couldn't join us, we're going to continue to celebrate all of our winners tonight. Up next, we have Best Film and Television Podcasts. These hosts help us see our favorite shows and movies in a new light through their discussion, their commentary, and their interactions. So let's roll the reel for Best Film and Television Podcasts.
Here are your nominees for Best Film and Television Podcasts. The Pilot Podcast.
But is it everybody or enough people? I don't know. But jocks or whatever the more
301 colored and commentators.
And the thing about this story was that for me, I sensed that it could.
Vaguely nerdy.
And a blue dress was based on. So he's got a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of books and whatnot. He actually did some writing on Star Trek Discovery for a little bit.
And the winner is Vaguely Nerdy.
Woo! Congratulations once again. Our next category is going to be Best Longtime Podcast. So this is a podcaster that has had a podcast for a very long time, steering us clear and continuing that momentum. Because we all, raise your hand actually, do you have a podcast? Raise your hand if you have a podcast in this room. And you know how hard it is to start that podcast, keep that podcast going, especially for a long time. So these are the nominees for Best Longtime Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Longtime Podcast. About That Wallet.
Becoming a warrior in your mind, right? And then understanding how to deal with adversity, because your emotional intelligence, because there could be 50, 60-year-olds,
Shades and Layers.
It was, oh my God, all of these children, the only difference between them and I is that they did not have the opportunities that I have to go.
Stitch Please.
And very intentionally, I've actually focused in on just making crib size quilts now. Somehow that feels digestible, feels not.
And the winner is Stitch Please.
A true legacy in podcasting. Come on up, get your award.
Giving honor to God, who is the head of my life, I'd like to thank so much for this opportunity. I'd like to thank Demetrius for his patience. There was a time when I could not get hit in the head by a Black Podcasting Award. And so I'm so grateful that he stood with me and was patient. And I was like, babe, I work hard too. But no, but it's really been a blessing. I'd like to first of all thank Crystal Hill, Mike Bryant, Christina Gifford, those folks who work on the Black Women Stitch team, and my family for their patience and generosity. Shout out to my grandmother, Edna Walker, born in 1913. I am a 6th generation sewist. Her grandmother sewed, and I'm just so honored and grateful to be here. Thank you all so much, and I'm so grateful for this community. Thank you.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, we're going to have Best Business Podcast. Black entrepreneurs, innovators are reshaping industries every single day. These shows capture that movement. So let's run the reel for Best Business Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Business Podcast. Dallas, Texas. What's good?
TonyHills.com. Everything that you want to learn about me is on there. My social media is on there. My scheduling consultation is on there. Everything that you need.
How I Crushed It.
18 hours, you kind of sort of dozed off. And can you tell us the story about how your life changed and how you found your way into property?
This is Made Herself a Boss.
Going to the right place. That's how you buy your time and what's the growth. So it's absolutely worth it. And I think kind of what we're rounding about here is worth it, but you have to put together.
And the winner is How I Crushed It.
Congratulations. We're going to continue the show with the Best Relationship Podcast, discussing love, friendship, family, communication. These shows open it up with all of the honesty and humor. So let's run the reel for Best Relationship Podcast.
Here is the winner of Best Relationship Podcast, Love the Amazing Clarks.
And Melanie's absolutely right. You can't run from yourself. And those challenges are there because, especially if you're married.
Congratulations. Up next, we're going to be discussing Bet's Arts podcast. All creators are artists, but which podcast that discuss the arts is going to be the best one? From painting to performers, these creators celebrate imagination and innovation in every form. So let's run the reel for Best Arts podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Arts Podcast. Creatives Like Us.
You go along to as well, and I think that shows your energy and sort of the kind of people that you are attracting to yourself. So it's a skill in itself.
In Between Artists.
And also a lot of new life experiences. And that's something that I've always bonded with you about, is like, we have a lot of respect.
Stitch Please.
And very intentionally, I've actually focused in on just making crib size quilts now. Somehow that feels digestible, feels not.
And the winner is Stitch Please.
Come on back up here, girl. Well deserved. Another one, thank you. Congratulations. Speech optional, but talk to us. Let us know.
I'm very grateful. I'm thankful to God. I'm thankful to Crystal Hill. I'm thankful to Mike Bryant. I am thankful to Christina Gifford. I'm thankful to my family. I have my oldest son who let me record in his room during COVID and was the meanest producer I ever had. Like, Mom, I want to go to sleep. I'm like, just a little longer, please. But no, I'm really grateful. Thank you for the opportunity, and let's keep podcasting. I believe in us. We deserve this, and I'm thankful for the opportunity.
Let's clap it up for that. Thank you so much. Sometimes it takes a team to make magic happen. So next category we're going to discuss is the best hosting duo. Some hosts, they work together. Some hosts, their banter is why people listen to them. So let's run the reel for the best hosting duo.
Here are your nominees for Best Hosting Duo. You Stuck With Me podcast.
Me sort of have a fear of women rather than wanting to save them. I guess it kind of did the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I've recovered from that trauma now because I went through a lot of therapy processing, talked to God on it, talked to my pastor. But I think that the main thing...
Vaguely Nerdy.
And a Blue Dress was based on. So he's got a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of books and whatnot. He actually did some writing on Star Trek Discovery for a little bit, but he left due to some very interesting circumstances, which I will also not address in this podcast.
Okay.
He's not a bad guy. It wasn't him.
Okay.
Him and HR.
And the winner is You Stuck With Me podcast.
Woo! And I believe our winners are in the room tonight. Come on up. You can make your way to the stage. Come on up. I see y'all. Okay. Congratulations. And we would love if you could give us a speech. Congratulations.
We want to thank Black Podcast Awards for this honor. We want to thank our family. We want to thank God who gave us the vision, the heart, and the mission to do our podcast. We want to thank any podcaster that has given us a platform to do our podcast and tell our message. Right now, our podcast voices are needed, everyone. We live in a very dangerous time, and if we don't stick up for ourselves as podcasters, because we're the ones who are giving the true voice and the true messages and everything, we're not going to be able to do things like this at all. So I want to also thank my family. Like I said, I want to thank my beautiful wife, because I wouldn't be able to do this without her. And I always tell her, the podcast does not work without you. So I love you. I know you got some people you want to congratulate or say thank you to, babe. So take it away.
Everyone, I'm usually not a woman of words unless I'm on a podcast. So first, I just want to thank God, who is the head of my life, and also Everything without him, nothing is possible. Without him, nothing is possible. Our family, our friends, also our producer Stephen White, who couldn't be here with us from Roots Recording. Um, Basically everything my tall man has said, and then also I want to thank him personally because he know that I'm not really much of a talker, but he got me out of my shell with the podcast. So, and like I said to you before, when you was going through those treatments and everything like that, you stuck with me. So this is only up from here.
Woo! Congratulations, the two of you.
And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Aww. Beautiful. Congratulations. Congratulations. Let's give them another round of applause. All right, I'm just gonna do a little check-in. How we feeling so far? We gotta go through 43 of these, y'all. We feeling good? Okay. All right, let's get to the next category, which is going to be the best literary podcast. In times like this, that's even more essential, right? We have to make sure folks are book lovers. Who's my book lovers? Raise your hand. Okay, yes, education, books. Let's keep it going here. The wordsmiths, the dreamers who turn language into art. These nominees keep our imaginations alive. So let's run that reel.
Here are your nominees for Best Literary Podcast. But Make It Books.
The people in this town, they aren't the type of people that'll just be like, oh, you're this gender, so you can't do this. Mm-hmm. They're just like, you work hard, you deserve this. Right. And it was
Literacy Matters, Empowered Conversations.
Materials, right? Because we need them. It's important for us not to go too far out. And I was not familiar with the ski reference, but I love it, and I will adopt it, Stephanie.
Quintessential Poetry.
Suffering and grief we're experiencing will decrease in intensity if we rise together against poverty and social injustices.
And the winner is But Make It Books.
Congratulations. They're not able to make it tonight, but we are going to continue listening to their podcast and reading them books. Next up, we have the best guest appearance. Sometimes one guest can change everything on a podcast. And we know sourcing guests can be a heck of a challenge, as well as securing them, making sure any NDAs, any interesting things are signed. So let's think about what the best guest appearance was, and let's run that reel.
Here's the winner of Best Guest Appearance. How y'all healing?
There's religion. So I had that conflict as well. Like, oh man, grandma says this is bad, but mom has helped many people heal. And, there's always that back and forth.
Right. So how did your mom navigate?
So let's welcome that team to claim their award. Are they here? Okay. And we'd love if you could share a few words with us. Congratulations. Congratulations. There's some mics here.
Good evening. So, first of all, I want to thank my team, me.
I just want to thank me.
Y'all know how it is. But the guest that was actually we submitted was this brother standing right here next to me. So about 16 years ago, I was invited to speak at North Carolina A&T, and I was on a panel with this country-ass dude that kept talking about sweet tea and chicken wings. About a year later, he invited me to come and interview with him. He had a website and a newsletter called From Afro to Shelto, Sweet Tea Ethics. And we remained friends ever since then. Our sons in 2014 were born 4 days apart. Aww. And so when I started my podcast, I wanted him to be the first guest, but our schedules couldn't make that happen. So he was the second guest. But when we talked about what show we were going to submit, I knew it had to be the show with him. And so I'm grateful to be sharing this stage with him. And I was listening to our podcast earlier today that we did, and I'm going to take a quote from myself and say from the podcast. And I said, I'm glad to call this man my friend, and I'm also grateful to be able to share him and his message with the world. So I'm gonna step to the side and let Dr. Ed Garnes come and say his thing.
How y'all feeling? I'm emotional because we forget as black people, all we need is us. All we need is us. And I'm going to start this with a quote from my mentor, Dr. Joe White, who is considered the godfather of black psychology. Stop seeking validation from your oppressor. Stop seeking validation from your oppressor. When I started from my organizations from Afros to Shell Toes, and now my Sweet Tea Ethics is now a podcast. When I started over 25 years ago, my vision was to make therapy cool for black folks. So 25 years later, I'm standing here on stage getting an award from a black organization, right? And the episode is about black psychology and healing ourselves. So if that does not tell you that intention is everything. Sometimes you have to stand in the shadows, you have to stand by yourself, and you have to fight for black people. And when you fight for black people, you're not always going to be honored, but it's damn sure good to get something from your own people.
Okay, now. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much for being here with us. Gonna do a little flick, okay? Get into these looks though, y'all. First of all, everybody here looks so good tonight. Can we talk about that? Thank you for coming out looking good. My eyes feel so happy to see all y'all. Next up, we have the best podcast art, cover art. Before the first listen, before the first look, this is what we see, right? The cover art allows us to get a hint of what the podcast may be about. So stunning visuals truly capture the sound and entices people to listen to the podcast. So what are our nominees and our winner for best cover art?
Here are your nominees for best podcast cover art, but make it books. Black is America. Embracing your voice. And the winner is But Make It Books.
Congratulations. Next up, we're going to move on to Best Sports Podcast. From the field to the finish line, these creators keep us cheering and feeling every victory, whether it's a win or a loss. So let's run the reel for Best Sports Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Sports Podcast. Biggs versus Biggs.
You never know. Allegedly. But also, there's the other side of the fight, too, where people kind of feel, the Oscar De La Hoya thing. I believe that Edgar had to really sell the fight. We got to talk about that. And I believe, Oscar, I don't know.
Club 520.
Peel fan, but I'm not going to ever be against a black man getting money, and I'm going to hear him out and give him a chance. With that being said, for one of those seats, I would definitely like a refund because that movie did not make any sense to me at all.
Okay.
I love football. The dude didn't play... Spoiler alert.
And the winner is Club 520.
Congratulations to our winner. Next up, we have the nominees for Best LGBTQ Podcast. Bold, authentic, unapologetic. These creators remind us representation is not only powerful, but it is absolutely necessary. So let's run that reel.
Here are your nominees for Best LGBTQ Podcast. Red for Revolution.
And the only one I feel comfortable sharing that with is my favorite person in the world, my grandma. At first, honestly, I thought she'd be disappointed.
Rigor and Flow with Iwan and Tamanda.
In America, I'd imagine, what often gets talked about with class, America is the land of, exceptionalism. Yeah. Migrants can come, working class people.
Queer News.
Faith
family, let's end our stories today with this really great story coming out of Florida. And I love when there are stories about folks fighting back.
And the winner is Queer News.
Congratulations once again. So you're going to get that award in the mail, but you can come tell us some speech. Up to you. You want to come up, say some more? Yeah, let's do it. So you will be mailed your other awards.
Okay, cool. I just want to say those podcasts are really good. And if you have not checked them out, I encourage you to. Red for Revolution is an audio drama and all original music. They are up for a Grammy nomination. I didn't even know that was a thing. Let me find out, okay? I just want to encourage us. This is an amazing opportunity to find out about podcasts you may not have ever heard of before. And this is our chance to also support them. So yes, thank you for this award. Thank you for this honor. Thank you to my team. It's always an honor. But please check out these other pods because they're all really, really good. Okay.
Thank you so much. And just to second that point, right, on our website, blackpodawards.com, you will see all of the nominees listed. So that is an opportunity to go on, check out podcasts that you haven't heard of before. We also feature them on our Instagram page as well because we have to continuously amplify Black voices. All right, up next we have Best Personal Development Podcast. Growth, purpose, healing, and success. These creators help us evolve one episode at a time. So let's run that reel.
Here are your nominees for Best Personal Development Podcast. It's About Damn Time.
For acceptance? For love?
Know What You See with Brian Lowry.
Soon after arriving in the shelter, Naoko says she received a strange email from a local potter, saying she was sorry to have missed Naoko's kintsugi workshop at a local arts center. And could
The
she
Letters
attend?
and Layers Podcast.
Ceiling in the shower. So I'm just like, look out. If it's daytime, look out into the skylight. Look at the beautiful sky. Look at the planes passing or whatever.
And the winner is The Letters and Layers Podcast.
Let's give them a round of applause. Up next, we have Best Youth Podcast. Young creators with big voices that are proving that age is nothing but a number and you can represent yourself no matter how young you are, and creativity has no age limit. So let's run the reel for the Best Youth Podcast.
Here's the winner of Best Youth Podcast. What's Poppin', Penny.
I can smell it.
Ding, 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 ding. 4 points go to the Brownstone Buddies. 1 for sight, 1 for hearing.
Awesome. We have to encourage the youth to speak up, use their voices, no matter what channel they have. And it's easier now than when some of us started our podcast to create a podcast. So let's continue to encourage the youth to do amazing things. Oh, okay, come on up. Yeah, do that. Yeah. Come on up. If you want to try to play it next to the mic, or you're going to read it for her. Okay, we're going to read it on her behalf. Thank you so much.
So obviously Tony couldn't be here, but she sent her acceptance speech in her steed. Please thank the family for their support. Manager Mars Marcelo, Demetrius for the BPA, Talib, Afros and Audio, everyone here today supporting the association that supports us as independent podcasters. This community is vital to our success and amplification of our voices. To date, my podcast, What's Poppin' Penny, has over 75,000 downloads. Not bad for a grandma in Florida who merely set out to create a love letter to her grandkids and provide our community with authentic representation of Black family love. I'd like to give a shout out to a few people who support and believe in me, in the renewed belief in myself, throughout my podcasting journey. From Spotify's Kids and Family, Verdell Walker, Jane Zumwalt, my friends Johnny and Adrian, DJ Sir Daniel, Anna Deshawn, Lisa Woolfolk, Kristen Kim, and those special people who took me under their wing to mentor me, Crystal Hill, Keisha TK Dukes, and holy trinity of guardian angels that any podcaster can have, Mr. Sean Smith, Mr. Al Pete, and Mr. Dominic Lawson. Thank you for this award. It's a great honor.
Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And something that I want to note to everyone, right? You're going to keep hearing a lot of the same names. And that's because this is a community. It's not just one-off. So if this is your first time hearing about the Black Podcast Awards, it's not just the award show that we're trying to enable, but realizing that there are so many influential people in this community and everyone helps each other. Everyone encourages each other. So if you're here supporting someone and you're like, should I start a podcast? Should I not? Network in this room. We're going to have an opportunity towards the end of the show tonight. Connect. See who you know. You may actually know someone, but never seen them in person, so they may be a little bit taller or shorter. I've had that happen to me many a times. So connect with each other beyond just being here for the award show. Up next, we have Best Episode of the Year. Every show has that one unforgettable episode that made us laugh, cry, or hit reply. So let's run the reel for the Best Episode of the Year.
Here are your nominees for Best Episode of the Year. Black is America.
Against Darlene Hard. And it looks like we're at match point. Take it away, Peter.
5-2, 40 love, and about 50 minutes play. And that's it. Game, set, and match to Miss Gibson.
Easily wins this match in straight set.
Club 520.
Peel fan, but I'm not going to ever be against a black man getting money, and I'm going to hear him out and give him a chance. With that being said, for one of those seats, I would definitely like a refund because that movie did not make any sense to me at all.
Okay.
I love football. The dude didn't play. Spoiler alert.
And the winner is Black is America.
Woo! Congratulations. I believe they're in the room with us here. Yes, let me go get your award. You can start your speech. Here you are.
Wow, this is pretty awesome. So first, I want to thank my wife, Kendall Lawson, who lets me podcast and hang out with my podcast friends all the time. I want to thank everybody: Crystal Hill, the Uma Collective, Lisa, Anna Deshawn, Adele Coleman, Latrice. Thank you so much for everybody who's in this room supporting me. Corey Gums, Talib, I appreciate all of you. And I just want to share a quick story. I actually went to a sports media company to pitch a different iteration of Black is America. It was a sports idea, and they would not take a meeting. This was the episode that I was trying to pitch to them, and they just never heard it. So I say that to say this. Just because they don't see the value doesn't mean it doesn't have value. So thank you.
A huge congratulations. So sometimes you have to bet on yourself, right? You have to bet on yourself, find your community, and just do it anyway. Do it scared, do it, nervous, do it sad, right? Just make sure you do it. So thank you so much for that. Up next, we have the Best Religion and Spirituality Podcast. Faith, Purpose, and Communities. These shows remind us what connects and sustains us. So let's run the reel for Best Religion and Spirituality Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Religion and Spirituality Podcast. Black and Cultivated.
I was all for it, yes. And I was very curious about different religions and different things at the time. I'd grown up Catholic, but I had studied like a lot of other.
Untoxify your relationship.
And where we see with Judas, he was regretful and he had self-pity. Instead, what Judas should have been is wanting to repent, right?
Vantage Point Podcast.
And the disciples thought they were with a stranger, but God said, open your eyes to what's around you, right?
And the winner is Untoxify Your Relationship.
Congratulations to our winner. Unfortunately, they could not be here with us tonight. Next up, we have the Best Scripted Fiction Podcast. These storytellers build entire worlds through sounds, pulling into unforgettable characters and scenes that we get to listen to and vibe with. So let's run the reel for Best Scripted Fiction Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Scripted Fiction Podcast. Alpha 8.
Guys, what's with the clothes?
It's for Alpha 8. We're going to send R23 into the pod. Get the robot ready?
And you.
Dr. Apples.
What? You know about socks?
What socks? Ursula Scram!
Red for Revolution.
And the only one I feel comfortable sharing that with is my favorite person in the world, my grandma. At first, I thought she'd be disappointed.
And the winner is Alpha 8.
Let's give a big round of applause to these winners that prove imagination has no limits. Our next category, or 2025 Legend Winner Award. Tonight, we pause to honor visionaries whose creativity and consistency built the path we walk. Their work laid the foundation for Black podcasting and continues to light the way forward. Please rise to applaud our 2025 Legend Award winner. 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 extraordinary figures whose legacies lift our entire community. So let's run that reel, and then let's give them a round of applause once we find out who it is.
Here are the 2025 Legends Award winners. Anna Deshawn, Bernard P. Achempong, Ian Wise Crozet.
Thank you for this honor. Unfortunately, I can't be with you at the moment. I'm currently somewhere between Brussels and London on a ship. I did have the opportunity to come to Baltimore a couple of years ago with the wonderful Kelechi Okafor, just to share with you the kind of things that we're doing over here in the UK and how much it chimes with what you're doing over there in the US. We are literally only separated by water. We share the same language and a lot of the same experiences. This honor is really appreciated, and it will continue to support the work that we're doing over here. And hopefully we can get some of you over to this side and see what we can do together. Once again, thanks on behalf of the Unedited team and all the other people who are out here hustling and trying to make a difference in the audio space. Thank you.
Congratulations. And we have Wise as well as Anna here with us. We'll welcome them to the stage. Okay, legends.
All right. So this is pretty surreal. I quit corporate America 4 years ago and stepped out on faith to do this full time. And I wanted to figure out how I could do what I love and still have my house and a happy wife and my dog very pleased with me. And I'm still here doing this. And I'm really blessed. I have found a community here. And that is why I flew here, okay? And I'm flying back home in the morning because my wife already got me something to do when I land, because we have a big event back home. But I want to say this, it is hard, but it is worth it. All of you all have built platforms that we all need. We all have voices that we need to use. And so if you have decided to pick up a mic, there is a responsibility that you have taken on, and I want you to own it and use it and find your audience and find your people, because it is so worth it. The journey is worth it. This, I'm taking this in. Legend is a big word, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my family, my friends, those who love me and care for me. And thank you all. Thank you.
Legend. It's a powerful word. I started podcasting 13 years ago. It was not something that I had in the cards. I had a lot of things in the cards. So first and foremost, I want to thank my family, the universe, because you manifest the things that you really want. When you see it, you speak to it, and you put forth that effort every single day, it comes true. A combination of that, can y'all hear me? Perfect. Okay. This is a room of our peers, and our peers voted for us to be legends. So thank you to y'all for seeing us the way that we try to present ourselves to everyone else.
Outside of that, y'all, thank you. I appreciate this moment because again, legend. Okay, like not too many words can kind of top that. So, Anna, Bernard, legends of 2025, y'all.
Congratulations to our legends. Woo! Hold on. I think they want a photo. We want a photo. Yes. All righty. Thank you so much to our legends, and thank you all to you. All right, up next, we have the best hosting team. Podcasting is a collaboration at its best. These teams balance voices, energy, and flow like pros. So we're going to run the reel for best podcast hosting team.
Here's the winner of best hosting team. We Sound Crazy Podcast.
At the end of the day, I was like, this is what you hired me for. And this is why for 20 years I've been working. Solid. You know, because whatever it is, I'm gonna go in, ball.
Congratulations to our winners. Up next, we have Best Video Podcast. So as we've seen, right, podcasts have expanded beyond audio to now include video, and both are very notable. So when visuals meet audio, who knows what worlds will open up and what we can see. So let's run the reel for Best Video Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Video Podcast. Dear Content Creator.
And at the time, I believe it was 4,000 watch hours. That was the goal, because what happens is once you reach that threshold, you are now eligible to get paid through AdSense. So whenever ads are on your videos, depending on how well your videos do in terms of views, the CPM.
Joe and Jada.
Pause again. Hey, yo, listen.
We didn't even have to do this.
Yo, no. I mean, like, to me, I can't move like I moved when I was 20 years old. I don't care how talented an older player is. You gotta stop.
And the winner is Dear Content Creator.
Congratulations. Up next, we have Best Education Podcast. Teaching through conversation, these hosts are sharing engaging, personal, and fun stories to educate us all. So next, we'll run the reel for Best Education Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Education Podcast. Modern Figures Podcast.
Balances. I thought the chair would want to see my syllabus. Like I remember showing Juan oh, this is what I plan to. He's like, I don't need that. Who gonna check it? Nobody.
Who cares? Yeah, nobody cares. Nope. If you are not teaching like an undergraduate.
The Exit Interview, a podcast for Black educators.
Learn that they don't teach you anything in college when it comes to being an actual teacher. I was furious. And I only had one teacher who did it right. Her name was Dr. Jennifer Slate, God bless her. She's doing great research, by the way, about Alex.
And the winner is The Exit Interview.
Come on up and claim your award. Congratulations. Good job. Go on up. We want to hear from you. That's all right. That's all right.
Thank you so much. In 2018, I was pushed out of teaching social justice to my sixth graders. Try the other mileage. All right. In 2018, I was pushed out of teaching for teaching my sixth graders social justice. And I demanded from my superintendent before I left an exit interview because I said he was going to hear why Black teachers were leaving his district.
On the way back to the car, after several emails of demanding an exit interview, I got one. And I walked back to my car and I said, there's so many of us who leave teaching and never share our stories. And so that's how the podcast started. So I like to dedicate this to all the Black teachers who've left education, who shared their stories, like Dr. LaShance did on my podcast, those who continue to teach, and those who are going to teach in the future. Thank God and my family. Thank you.
Congratulations. Very well deserved. Congratulations once again. Up next, we have the Best Sex Podcast. Honest, open, and judgment-free, these hosts create spaces to talk about real intimacy and connection. So let's run that reel.
Here is the winner of Best Sex Podcast, Love, the Amazing Clarks.
And Melanie's absolutely right. You can't run from yourself. And those challenges are there because, especially if you're married.
To our winners. By a raise of hands, who here considers themselves an entrepreneur? All right, so we have about half the crowd, right? Me too. I'll raise my hand as well. So the next category is Best Entrepreneur Podcast. These hosts turns ambition into action and share it with the world. So let's run that reel for Best Entrepreneur Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Entrepreneur Podcast. Build to Enough.
To drum up business when things slow down, but also so you're taking the right clients at the right time. I have found that a lot of firms end up in this super, super busy season.
Nurse Boss Shift.
Bio, I assume that you are. So you are essentially making, and I saw where you're not, or are you currently working full-time, or is that something you have to do, or were you?
So Ambitious.
Like, I know enough about the person so that I'm actually genuinely interested in them, right? Yeah. But there's a process to that.
And the winner is Build to Enough.
Congratulations. They couldn't be here with us tonight, but we're going to give them a round of applause. Up next, we have Best Podcast Network. Okay, we're fixing something. All right, all good. Thank you. So we have the Best Podcast Network. Behind every show is a great team, right? A team of executors that are the foundation, oftentimes within a network of other podcasts and other podcast hosts. So let's run the reel for Best Podcast Network.
Here's the winner of Best Podcast Network, Owls Education Company.
Congratulations, and come on up. Let me get your award. You're very welcome.
So first of all, thank you again for this amazing award, Best Podcast Network. I never wanted to start a network, but it just kind of happened when you keep creating shows. In 2020, when everybody was getting into podcasting, I knew I had to do something to kind of stand out. A lot of people were doing interview-style shows and this, that, and the other. So it was at that moment we switched from the interview style to nonfiction narrative, which, if anybody who does nonfiction narrative know, it is a ton of work. And so that's when Black is America was born. And then The B Word, my wife's show. And then now Mental Health Rewritten. So it's a labor of love. And so to be recognized with the best network, or a network I never wanted to start, this is a super great honor. So thank you so much for that.
Congratulations once again. Yeah, hook it back in there. Appreciate you. All right, we're going to do another little check-in. How's everybody feeling this time? We are more than halfway through, y'all. All right. Thank you so much for bearing with us tonight. And we hope to see y'all again next year and the year after that, all the things, good things to come. Up next, we have Best Culture Podcast. Culture is conversation. These hosts capture what moves, challenges, and defines us. So let's run the reel for Best Culture Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Culture Podcast. Soul Vibrant.
I ask myself a lot of questions and I break down and I analyze. And in that process, I'm like, do I really believe this? This is really my thoughts? Is this really?
The Kadara Woman Podcast.
I think laser focus, because if you listen to everything that I've talked about, it's about laser focus, whether that was taking the bar exam, whether that was
We Sound Crazy Podcast.
Jamie has always been a prototype for me. I knew that I wanted to be, I guess, ultimately what I am because of watching Jamie Foxx.
Wow.
Watching him sing.
And the winner is We Sound Crazy Podcast.
Congratulations to them once again. Our next category is Best Family and Parenting Podcast. We know how hard it is to be a parent, or at least to be a sibling or a part of a family. These stories share what it's like to raise kids, build homes, and stay grounded through it all. So let's run the reel for Best Family and Parenting Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Family and Parenting Podcast. Back Talk by Successful Black Parenting Magazine.
Shows great resilience in the book, even though, she did not get the part.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, and I've learned so much, of course, throughout my journey as a dancer that I often say has prepared me for being a parent.
Early Risers.
Because that seemed like the right thing to do, even though we as caregivers or adults know that might not be the appropriate response. Kids are really doing the best they can with what they have, even when it's inappropriate.
Right. I think that's so important that they don't understand sometimes their own.
And the winner is Early Risers.
Congratulations. Next up, we have Best Producer. Behind every polished soul is someone who is shaping those stories, fine-tuning the sound, and keeping it all together. So let's run the reel for Best Producer.
Here's the winner of Best Producer, Quincy L. Lewis.
Congratulations. Come on up. Your award in the mail. You can give a speech.
Yo, what up, though? I wasn't even prepared for this. So I got my sweat rag. I'm not dressed. I do got my tuxedo J's on, though. I guess that worked. All right, get down to my level. There we go. All right, so I want to thank y'all. I didn't know if I was going to win or not. I did have some wrote down, though, so just in case I did win. All right, so let's go ahead and read it real quick. I would like to thank Talib and the whole Afros and Audio podcast family, for real. My podcasting family who is in the back, my E-Block Radio family who is in the back, and all the podcasters who have trusted me with delivering their voices to the masses. All right, I really appreciate y'all. So real quick, because I'm here, I got to shout them out, right? So shout out to the Wake and Bake Show, Shy versus Everybody podcast, the Beards Bourbon Whiskey podcast, One Truth, Two Stories, and Sisters with Opinions podcast. We out here, baby. We won.
Congratulations.
Thank God.
Thank you so much. Yes, all good. We're glad you came, though. We're glad you're here, right? Doesn't matter what you look like. We're glad you're here with us. All right. Up next, we have Best International Podcast, because Black folks, where we at? Everywhere. Okay. From across the globe, these creators prove Black stories travel far and connect us everywhere. Let's roll that reel.
Here are your nominees for Best International Podcast, Creatives Like Us.
You go along to as well, and I think that shows your energy and sort of the kind of people that you are attracting to yourself. So it's a skill in itself to be.
Liberated Land Trust.
Projects that we do and events that we host. So we always have, a great turnout for things and really strong engagement. And I think it's because we're able to continue to have
Rigor and Flow with Iwan and Samantha.
America, I'd imagine, like what often gets talked about with class, America is the land of, exceptionalism.
Yeah.
Migrants can come, working class people.
And the winner is Rigor and Flow with Iwan and Samantha.
Congratulations to our winners. Up next, we have Best Health and Wellness Podcast. Mind, Body, Spirit. These hosts help us recharge, reflect, and heal. So let's run that reel.
Here are your nominees for Best Health and Wellness Podcast. How you healing?
And sometimes it's just setting the intention. And once the intention is out there and you move forward, and of course,
it's about damn time.
For acceptance? For love?
Did I feel like Mind the Force?
We are human. They're there to serve us. So how do we get them to serve us? I think a lot of that has to do with the morality and ethics of the coders. You have one from, for instance, China.
And the winner is It's About Damn Time.
Congratulations once again. Alrighty, congratulations once again. Up next, we have Best Science and Technology Podcast. Explaining the world around us from innovation to discovery. These shows make learning exciting and fun again. So let's run the reel for Best Science and Technology Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Science and Technology Podcast. B, The Way Forward.
Options, and it made me very valuable to him because he knew I had skin in the game to make sure this was a success.
Wow, there's so much there. There's so much richness there. I hope our listeners caught all of that. You had to put yourself out there to ask questions of 3 different people.
Modern Figures Podcast.
Balances. I thought the chair would want to see my syllabus. I remember showing Juan this is what I plan to. He's like, I don't need that. Who gonna check it? Nobody.
Who cares? Yeah, nobody cares. Nope. If you are not teaching like an undergraduate.
And the winner is B, The Way Forward.
Congratulations. I believe our winners are here. Okay, they were supposed to come. All right, no problem. We're going to move on. Up next, we have Best Sound Design. So every echo, beat, and silence matters. These creators make sound fun and an art form. So let's run the reel for Best Sound Design.
Here's the winner of Best Sound Design. Our ancestors were messy.
Like to keep house, like children,
Congratulations.
and am considered quite good-looking and charming. My father left me a legacy, which I can't receive until I marry. I suppose he thought I would run through it uselessly.
I hope y'all are taking notes of which podcast you're going to go home and listen to and check out, right? Are we doing that? Okay, let's make sure we do that and support Black podcasters. Up next, we have Best Personal Journals Podcast. Raw, reflective, and real. These podcasters invite us into their inner worlds with honesty and heart. Let's run the reel for Best Personal Journals Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Personal Journals Podcast. Behind the Mic, powered by Revolt Podcast Network.
Ended up making a flyer for the Carefree Black Girl Picnic, as what it was. And then the flyer went viral. And then people were like going online saying, where is this at? And me not even realizing how.
The Mediocre Black Woman.
And then it made me think about myself. When I talk about the world, I mean everybody that's not a part of the collective of the Mediocre Black Woman specifically.
WV Uncommon Place.
Basically.
Okay. So. And with your brothers or your siblings, it could also be the politics of your sperm donor.
Yes, that's correct.
And a lot of times.
And the winner is the mediocre black woman.
Congratulations. Next up, we have Best Solo Host. These podcasters have no hosts, no panels, just one powerful voice holding our attention each time. So let's run the reel for Best Solo Host.
Here are your nominees for Best Solo Host. Know What You See.
And Emmanuel Desarme from PRX Productions. For more about me or the show, go to knowwhatyouSee.com, created and masterminded by Will Danger Robinson.
Our ancestors were messy.
All these people, the doctors and the lawyers and the great thinkers of that day, are going to Howard, and then they're settling all around U Street, which they called Black Broadway at that time.
Queer News.
Family, let's end our stories today with this really great story coming out of Florida. And I love when there are stories about folks fighting back.
And the winner is Queer News.
Congratulations once again. Another one, thank you.
Oh, Southside? Chicago all day. I know this is solo host, but I don't do this alone. And so I do want to send a lot of love out to Ryan, who was our editor, this is new, so I can't bank any episodes. There is no evergreen content. We are producing this thing every single week. And I wake up at probably 3 or 4 in the morning, and I settle into what our associate producers put together, and Ryan turns this edit around in about 90 minutes.
Whoa.
And he publishes it every Monday morning. I cannot do this podcast without Ryan. I cannot do this podcast without our associate producer, Mayana. I couldn't do it without our content editor, Tony, who is editing the videos, because, child, it brings me no joy, okay, to edit content for social media. I'm grateful to the Q crew, who are paid members of the podcast. They give every single month to see this podcast actually come to life. I couldn't pay Ryan without them. And so I just want y'all to know, solo host it's a cool category, but I don't do this alone. And if you are doing this alone, you should figure out how you can do it with a group of people. You will be so much better. Your content, your work will be so much better if you don't do it alone. So if you hear nothing else from me today, find you a friend. Okay, find somebody who wants to get into the work with you so that your work can be better than it already is. So thank you again, podcasting.
Thank you so much for those words of wisdom. Sometimes if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go where? Together, right? Don't do it alone. All right, up next, we have Best Limited Series Podcast. Short runs, but long-lasting impact. These creators make every episode count. So let's run the reel for Best Limited Series.
Here are your nominees for Best Limited Series Podcast. Black on the Ballot.
Make change is being a city councilor. So that's what I thought about.
As a Black woman, taking a run at municipal politics.
Furious Flower 4, the worlds of Black poetry.
Engaging with like Gertrude Stein, some work is engaging with walking and form. And so do you feel like you start with the project, or do you feel like you start doing a thing and then realize it?
LA Made, the other moonshot.
Caltech grad student Melina is hell-bent on pursuing research into rocket propulsion, no matter if people think his thesis is a waste of his talents.
And the winner is LA Made, the other moonshot.
Congratulations to our winners. Up next, we have Best Music Podcast. From deep cuts to chart toppers, these shows amplify the soundtracks of our lives. Let's run the reel for Best Music Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Music Podcast. American Railroad.
So we were unable to improve that land that we had. And over time, when poverty hits, that farmer next to you would say, hey,
The R&B and Chill Podcast.
Then you look, and then it says, "Don't look at the caption in the post." And then you look at the caption, it says, "You don't follow the directions." You know what I mean? like it's just like,
Yeah.
but it was.
We Sound Crazy podcast.
Jamie has always been a prototype for me. I knew that I wanted to be, I guess, ultimately what I am because of watching Jamie Foxx.
Wow.
Watching him sing,
Music,
watching him act.
And the winner is R&B and Chill podcast.
Congratulations to our winners. Up next, we have Best Black Girl Magic Podcast. Joy, brilliance, and unapologetic excellence. These voices radiate empowerment and truth one episode at a time. So let's run the wheel for Best Black Girl Magic Podcast.
Here are your nominees for Best Black Girl Magic Podcast. Girl, Call Me with Tanya and Jessica.
Energy. It's a waste. Are you saying that you think UCLA is going to give in? No, I'm saying the amount of money that we as state as
Stitch Please.
And very intentionally, I've actually focused in on just making crib size quilts now. Somehow that feels
Good.
digestible, feels not.
The Color Between the Lines with Esther Dillard.
Brandis Daniel from Harlem's Fashion Row is our big award recipient. And then we have Shawan Johnson from BS & Co.
And the winner is Stitch Please.
Yeah, girl, it's you. We need a speech. Come on up. Here you go. You ain't gonna miss this award. Here you go. You didn't look that magical to not win this. Come on, you knew what you was doing.
I'm very grateful to the Lord God for bringing me here and safely, and I wish everyone safe travels back. Thank you very much to the Black Podcasting Awards. Thank you to Demetrius and the entire committee that listens to all of these entries. It's a volunteer position, and people are very generously giving of their time, and I'm very grateful. So thank you. I'm thankful to my family. I'm thankful to Crystal Hill, to Mike Bryant, to Christina Gifford. I'm thankful also to the Patreon community that does support Black Women Stitch. I'm able to pay people to help me, not as much as I would like, but you know, it definitely gets paid. And I'm just grateful. I am truly grateful. I'm so grateful to be in such a rich and beautiful creative community. Shout out to the content creators of color, a group of people who we chat 3 days a week for what feels like 3 years now. And it's been such a beautiful blessing to me. And I'm just grateful. Thank you so much. And so is SEW. Thank you.
Congratulations once again. All right, we almost there, y'all. I see y'all. Next up, we have Best True Crime Podcast. Gripping, investigative, and full of heart, these creators, truth seekers, turn powerful stories into podcasts. Let's see who the Best True Crime Podcast nominees are.
Here's the winner of Best True Crime Podcast, Cold and Untold.
Passion for food with the community. Mark had owned 3 restaurants, and people grew to love both Mark and his cooking. In fact, on Mark's online obituary,
Congratulations to our winners. We have 2 more categories left, which is a part of the Podcast of the Year. But before that, we have some words from our amazing Demetrius. So come on up.
Nervous and excited, so bear with me, won't go long. Thank you. I said it before, I think most of you were here. Sorry. GSD. Can I curse in here? Is that okay? Get shit done, right?
Yeah.
Or get stuff done. That's literally her business. And that's key to how we're here. I just want to recognize everybody that's come from literally all over the country. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you for making your podcast. I want to shout you out, Talib, for Afros and Audio. I call you our older cousin because you started, I'm not sure how many months right now, but in 2019. And I lived down the street, but didn't find you until the last hour and a half you guys were gone. Was a little out of it. So I'm like, I'll get it next year. You know what happened in 2020. Thank you for letting us be part of this weekend and last year and supporting. And Erica here too. Thank you for taking the journey. I know it's a journey. My goodness, I know it's a journey. Thank you. Lisa, where are you at? Thank you for those emails in 2020. I think Mickey even was handling some of those because we were early days. It was 2020. But Lisa helped me, I didn't know it at the time, seated focusing to make sure we could get more of us up here. And eventually, when I'm not there yet, and so awards isn't there, more podcasting. If I've got it right, unfortunately, less than 1% of podcasts, and there are at least 5.7 million podcasts, most of them not active, but we're not even at 1% globally. That seems a little strange to me, but we'll talk about that more in the coming weeks and months. I want to shout out all our prior and new winners tonight. I want to shout out all the nominees. I want to shout out 2 other people. This is table 1 over here. Thank you, Latrice, for all. Latrice is our #1 volunteer who is not a co-founder. She's been pushing for this night for maybe since the beginning, I'm not sure, but at least 3-4 years. Thank you, and thank you for making the trek up. I want to also shout you out, Nicole, one of our first 2020 winners, also at table 1, for making the trek up, and Nicole for helping us move the needle in 2023. And so we got a little bit of, or I got a little bit of footing so we could have a private ceremony. Shout out to Adele and Chris, DCP Entertainment and Podstream Studios. We were literally in Times Square. Black Run. I have a lot more things to say, not the least of which is about fundraising, but I won't take you through that now. We want these categories, and I want you guys to, and thank you for saying this earlier. I don't know who else said it. It's just all kind of going by. I know you said it, Georgianne. One to the winners. Please mix and mingle after this. This is so important, virtually too, but also in person that we get together and connect. And you never know what might happen. I want to shout out one of the volunteers, 3 more, and then I'm going to be quiet for a bit at least. Daniel, I can't see because the lights are. Daniel is our event photographer. It is thanked in the program, but thank you. There'll be amazing footage, video and photo. And I just want to shout you out again, Talib, and the team. Oh, I know I need to shout out. I had many long conversations at Afro's 3 years ago in Philly, I think it was. I don't know if Asanti's in the room. But Daniel and I spoke last year, and then you reconnected us. Thank you for just, can I contribute? Can I help? Yes, please. Please do. So thank you. Shamiko, where are you at? You are one of these tables. Shamiko's part of the Afros and Audio team. I'm shouting Shamika out. We had a very long conversation last year too, but I'm shouting you out. Thank you, because we're in this venue because of the work you were doing with Afros, and you shared that with us, because we didn't have a venue for a minute. I was like, we might just have to do virtual again, and a lot of things, including the Woo, were saying, no, this is the year. So thank you again for coming out. I won't take up too much time. Please mix and mingle after this and meet someone you don't know. And if you're a nominee or a winner, please come to table 6 and write thank yous. I do want to send those out. So many more people who are not here made this happen tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those thank yous. And a big shout out to Lance and Gifted Media Productions in the back, one of the co-founders. And this will be all on YouTube. Every year you see it on YouTube. Thanks to Lance for making that happen. So now, the moment you've been waiting for. Podcast of the Year, or final award of the night. And this show that transcended that medium, the one that had everyone talking, sharing, and hitting that subscribe button, this is the show that defined the year in audio. So let's run the reel for Podcast of the Year.
Here are your nominees for Podcast of the Year. Belonging to Blackness.
On Morrison, the last chapter doesn't have an epigraph from Baldwin, it has an epigraph from Morrison. Right. And the only reason why it's Morrison, because I see Morrison as a student of Jimmy.
Holden Court Podcast.
For how to be successful out of this thing, man. You know what I mean? This what we doing. You know what I mean, man? A lot of artists follow.
We Sound Crazy Podcast.
Jamie has always been a prototype for me. I knew that I wanted to be, I guess, ultimately what I am because of watching Jamie Foxx. Wow. Watching him sing.
And the winner is We Sound Crazy Podcast.
Congratulations. And beyond the best podcast of the year, we have the best podcaster of the year. This is the VIP vote. This award recognizes the individual creatives whose excellence, exceptional work, leadership, and influence has made the biggest mark in the past year. So let's run the wheel for the best podcaster of the year.
Here are your nominees for Podcaster of the Year, VIP vote. Dominic Lawson, Black is America.
Paved the way for her transition to lawn tennis, a sport dominated by racial segregation at the time. Gibson's prowess on the court couldn't be ignored.
Mick Hunt, Mick Unplugged.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got it. To all the viewers and listeners, remember, your because is your superpower. Go unleash it.
Thanks. Christine McPartland, Mind the Force.
I feel so bad when people are like, where do I start? And I'm just like, well, go watch everything.
I say Reddit usually. Start with Reddit and then decide which list you'd like.
That's fair.
And the winner is Dominic Lawson, Black is America.
Congratulations. Close us out with an amazing speech.
I want to give thanks to God for placing this passion in me for podcasting, this ministry of podcasting on me. My wife Kenda for just undeniable support, listening to all the reels, the broken reels, the messed up whatever, and saying, you know what, try this, try that. I want to thank Crystal Hill for pushing and challenging me just about every single time. I know that she often brings the stick, but she also gives you the carrot too, and definitely just wants you to be better. I want to thank Uma Collective Group, Al, Pete, Ty, Sean, Crate Digger. You guys push me every single day, and I really appreciate all of you. Hannah Deshawn, Lisa, Adele, Latrice, thank you so much for pushing me and supporting me, listening to everything. And honestly, I want to just say thank you for everybody who voted for me, for thinking that I was worthy of Podcaster of the Year. Like I said before, doing nonfiction narrative is a labor of love. It is a lot of work. It takes weeks to do one episode. We're talking 2, 3, 4 weeks for a 30-minute, 40-minute episode. So with research, writing the script, sound design, getting the right guest, making sure it sounds right, and all the things. So to have this is it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you.
Congratulations. It is well deserved. And with that, we have successfully completed the very first in-person version of the Black Podcasting Awards. This is our sixth, how did we get here? I don't even know. Our 6th annual Black Podcasting Awards. So we want to thank you all for attending, all the podcasters for submitting, everyone that supported with the voting, supported with social media, all of our donors, all of our sponsors, all of our listeners, all of our watchers. We want to thank everyone that made this moment possible, and it's going to take us all in this room, plus our friends, our family, our colleagues, to continue this movement that we've all begun. Right? It doesn't matter if you're a co-founder or not. It takes us all to make this continuously happen, and we could be celebrating a decade of Black Podcasting Awards, a century of Black Podcasting Awards. So thank you so much for being here with us. Good night. Have a great time. Do not leave. Network, mingle, interact. There's fruit out front. There's some drinks out front too. But thank you so much. Again, my name is Georgianne Gettin, and I really appreciate you all having some fun with us tonight at the Black Podcasting Awards. What a wonderful show. The host was amazing, if I do say so myself. But it was just such a blast hosting the very first full blown in person Black Podcasting Awards. And tonight we have some of our winners here with us on our live stream, coming to you from Gifted Media Productions in Hartsdale, New York. So I cannot wait to engage with and talk to some of our winners. So who do we have on tonight? So if any of the winners just want to unmute and we can have a quick little conversation. Nice. Remind me, what award did you win? What category?
Best new podcast.
And how does that feel? Best new podcast.
It's humbling. It's unbelievable. I just kind of started doing the work because I was trying to do my own self-improvement. And I was given the assignment, I feel like God gave me the assignment to just share as you learn. And I did that. So with no expectation, and to land here in this space among all these talented and amazing people is not something that I planned for, but I understand it was a part of the plan. So I'm humbled, and it's a really a surreal moment.
Sometimes we're not told, but instead we are called. So you
That's
were
right.
called to do that work, and you got an award for it, which is very exciting. So now what? You could tell me a little bit about what's up next for your podcast. Is there a new season out? Is there a new season coming? What's on the roadmap for you?
Yeah, so we're in season 3, and so I'm going to continue season 3. The real thing about podcasting is you're still trying to do life while you're also trying to offer these gifts to the world, right? So life hit, and I had to pause, and it gave me an amazing moment to really reevaluate what I was offering and how I wanted to do it. I just wanted to be authentic in what I was doing. So we're going to restart season 3. I had to do a pause to just let life happen and get back into it, but I appreciate the opportunity to do that, what I'm saying, and having a space where you can pause and say, I need a real moment, and use that content, right? To say, I had a real moment, I'm gonna use it, and hopefully it helps somebody else to know, because it's all a journey. So again, I'm excited to be on this journey. I'm eager to learn from other people who've been doing it for a long time. And I have all the expectations, but none of the expectations, if that makes sense.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. And welcome to the Black Podcast Award alumni community, which is really exciting. And like you said, you started your show to share the journey, and taking that pause, taking that moment is a part of the journey. And I think it is essential that we share what's happening in the in between, right? It's not just our highlight reels that we may show on social media, but this is real life. Like you said, it is a journey. It takes time, but as long as you get back to it, or you try something new, or you keep going, whatever that looks like for you is the key thing. So do you have any final words to leave us here with tonight before we move on to another one of our amazing winners?
No, again, I just want to thank the Black Podcasting Awards for this opportunity. And again, this is just evidence that, God has a plan, and I just need to keep going with that, and all things will work out. So I'm grateful. So congratulations to all of the other winners. I'm looking forward to tapping into those podcasts as well and listening to those gifts. So I'm excited to be here.
Glad to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Who else do we have on with us tonight?
Hi, I'm Goddess Thea here from Texas. I have the podcast, The Mediocre Black Woman, and I won the Best Personal Journals as a Podcast category.
Congratulations. And how is that feeling? I've seen your podcast before as well, and I was just like, oh, this is so cool, because I don't get to see everyone that's in it. So when you see familiar names or accounts, you're like, oh, that's so cool. Congratulations. But how is it feeling to be now a Black Podcasting Award alumni winner?
It feels really good because I've never submitted myself for anything. And for the first time, this being the podcast that I chose to submit, and this being the award, and the organization, it feels really good that it's a Black Podcasting Award. And so I'm just humbled. I'm still on a high a little bit, kind of surreal moment, but I'm humbled and I'm grateful. And I don't know if any other award will ever mean as much as this one. So I'm just really grateful.
That's amazing. That's beautiful. Thank you. And so what's going on? Where are you at with your podcast right now? What season are you in? What's up next? What's going on? Talk to me.
Yeah, so we're in season 1, and we started it in under a year, and now we're at over almost 29,000 downloads. Probably will hit that this week.
Congrats.
And thank you. And we've actually helped people launch their own shows too, as well. So we've been doing that also. And my goal is to just keep sharing authentically because it's been part of my own challenge and my own journey of just not people pleasing, and being comfortable putting myself out there regardless of what that looks or sounds like. And so, yeah, it's just continuing to do more of that and continuing to elevate other people's voices in regards to that as well and helping them shine their lights because it can be really hard. It can be challenging, especially as Black women, to step into that space and to be confident, bold, and be accepted, flaws and all, right? And so I just want to continue to do more of that.
Absolutely. And when we are being our most authentic selves, that's when the best things happen, right? As the previous winner said, just kind of sharing the journey, sharing what's going on the in between, just being yourself. And oftentimes as Black people, as Black women, we're not able to do that, and creating more spaces where we are able to do that, and not only able to do it but celebrated for just being who we are, showing up how we can, and knowing that we're doing our best and being celebrated and awarded for that is just an icing on top of the cake. Awesome. Any final words you have for our audience tonight that you'd love to share with them? Maybe some aspiring podcasters out there, or maybe some folks that submitted and didn't get a chance to take away an award tonight. Any final words?
Yeah, trust yourself because I almost didn't submit the episode that I submitted. I submitted a safer choice episode and my timestamp was off, and I got asked to resubmit my application. And I feel like God was like, look, Theodora, if you don't submit the episode that we told you to submit in the first place, and that was the one that won. So I would say trust your intuition, trust your vibe. You may not always understand why you're being pulled to something or being called to something, but when you follow it, you end up seeing the bigger picture at the end of the day. So I would say trust your vibe the first time.
Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us tonight. Are there any other winners online with us tonight? And chat, if you're watching on YouTube, as you are seeing these winners come up, make sure you're checking out their podcasts, right? Sound off in the chat. What's your favorite Black podcast, or who are you really excited to hear won an award tonight? Let us know in the YouTube chat, in the Facebook chat, in the future chat, right? Because it's not just about this one moment and these current winners. We're celebrating here, of course, tonight. But the Black Podcasting Awards is not going anywhere. We will be back next year. We have past history of winners. And this is a community, a collective. And inside of this community, we're collaborating with other Black-focused organizations in the podcast industry. Black podcast studios, podcast networks, podcast festivals. And amplifying our voices requires all of us to activate, not just the podcasters, but the listeners, the editors, the studios, the hosts, the co-hosts, all of us. All parts are necessary to make this a reality and continue to make this a reality, as well as allies that may not identify as Black, celebrating and amplifying our voices as well. So let's continue to do that. Let's continue to celebrate. Let's continue to uplift ourselves and uplift each other. Do we have anyone else with us here tonight in the chat?
Yes, we do. We have Anthony Clark.
Hello.
Anthony Clark from the Amazing Clarks. We won the best relationship podcast and the best sex podcast.
Congrats.
And thank you. Wifey isn't here today, so I'm taking it on my own. I want to thank you guys. It's a huge honor. We won Best Relationship Podcast a couple of years ago. We didn't win Best Sex Podcast, even though we were nominated. So this year we did both. So very humble, very grateful. I want to thank our team. We have an amazing team. Crystal Hill, our producer, Mike Bryant. I want to thank Mike. Got to thank Wifey, of course. And we've been coaching for 24 years, and our goal is to introduce the world to a new and better way to love and have relationships. And obviously, it's working. We won an award. So once again, we're grateful. And I want to give kudos to everybody that's been nominated, everybody that's won. It's an amazing feeling. Been there, get it the first time. It's amazing. Did I mention I'm a pop now?
Oh, congratulations!
Yes. With beautiful baby grandson, our first one. His name is Ace. So I accept this award for Ace as well.
Awesome. Before you go, tell me what's up next for the podcast. Now that you won both categories, you're continuing to work on your podcast. What's up next? What's going on?
Really, we're basically focused on expanding our reach, getting more fans, getting our message out to more people, helping to build better relationships, just doing what we do. We've been doing it for 24 years. We've been passionately in love for 34. And so we're
Congratulations
just
on
sharing
that.
love. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. And any advice that you may have for other podcasters or aspiring podcasters out there that could be watching this right now?
I'd say to be authentic and to be bold.
Mm-hmm.
And your message may not be for everybody, but it doesn't matter. Once you put it out there with that authenticity, those that are matched to it, they will attract it, they will find it. So you're doing it for the people that want it. And so just be authentic, be real, be bold.
Thank you so much. And that is so true. Your people always find you. So I really appreciate you coming on tonight. Congrats again. Do we have any other winners here with us tonight that want to come on and share with us about their podcasts?
Yes, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, great. I'm calling all the way from London, so it's quite late here. It's
I was just
nearly
thinking that.
1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna have to go to bed in a minute. But yeah, we won the best business podcast for How I Crushed It, and really excited to win. I think I'm echoing somebody who mentioned it before, but we actually got nominated last year, didn't quite make it, and then this year, won the award. So persistence does help. Persistence does work. So guys, if you didn't quite make it this year, do apply again, and you never know what may happen. You may win next year. We've been running the podcast now for 3 years. So just a few thank yous. Thank you to my audio engineer called Robbie. He's been working on it since the first day. Big thank you to my video editor called Happiness. That's his real name. Big thanks to him. He does all the videos. And just big thanks to some of the sponsors who've been sponsoring the event over the last few years, RKY Careers and the Black British Business Awards. And just, big thanks also to the listeners who keep tolerating me over the last 3 years as well. And also a big respect to the fellow nominees, Dallas, Texas, What's Good, and Made Herself a Boss. Keep pushing, folks. As I say, keep applying. You may win next year. And just lastly, big thanks to you, and big thanks to Demetrius as well for running the Black Podcasting Awards. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for coming on with us this late. We have, I mentioned it at the ceremony, but there are submissions from Black podcasters all over the literal world, from different countries, different continents. And so it's beautiful to know that it's not just, the award show started here in the US, but Black people are everywhere. And so we really appreciate across the pond for you submitting and participating and coming back a next time. Like he said, persistence and resilience do equal results, right? And you just have to keep trying. So I'd love for you to tell me a little bit more about what's going on right now with your podcast. Is there anything new or exciting coming up that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, after this, really just looking for more sponsorships, hopefully with this nomination, with this recommendation. Sorry, with this recognition, I'm a bit tired.
It is 1 a.m. Anything you say is fine. You are all good.
With this recognition, hopefully should add a bit more credibility, and we're going to go out, start chasing bigger sponsors and partners, and see where we can take this, really.
Absolutely. That's very exciting. Any advice for aspiring podcasters or other podcasters out there?
Any advice? Just go for it. Don't dawdle, just get on and do it. I think a lot of people, they kind of mull it over, like, should I do this podcast, should I do it, and they keep waiting. I think the best advice is just do it. Just doesn't have to be best quality. If you do your first one, you can build up some momentum and take it forward. So yeah, just get out there and do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like he said, just do it. Get out there. It's better done than perfect. Over time, you will amplify. You will get better. You'll get stronger. You'll grow an audience. But you have to start somewhere. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight. And I hope you get some rest. I understand it is very late. Thank you for jumping on with us. Do we have anyone else here with us tonight from the winners that would like to come up and share a little bit tonight?
Hey, good night, beautiful people. Hi. My name is Maggie, calling in from Canada, representing for Toronto tonight. Super excited to be here. My podcast is Their Content Creator, one for Best Video Podcast category. I just want to say shout out to the Black Podcasting Awards for everything that they do. Very helpful in just helping us as Black creators get our voices out there. And so it's really a true honor for me to get not only nominated, but to be the winner for this award. So I'm just truly, truly grateful and inspired by everyone who's here sharing tonight as well.
Thank you. And I'm loving all the international folks coming on. Appreciate y'all. Canada or cousins right there. So
Yes.
tell me a little bit more about what's going on with your podcast now. Like what are you up to? What are you doing next?
So we recently celebrated 1 year. So I'm really looking forward to stepping into season 2, where I focus more on sharing the stories of other Canadian content creators and their journey. And hopefully others out there will be able to get some insights from their journey that they can apply to theirs as well. The reason for me even wanting to do this podcast in the first place is because I felt like there was a gap in terms of the information for us Canadian creators to know what is out there for us to do, access to monetization, all of those things, what it looks like for us. And I just wanted to really share my journey. It definitely had a lot of hiccups because I tried to talk myself out of not only starting the podcast, but also applying to be a part of the nomination. So I'm just glad that I didn't let that stop me. So hoping someone can take away from that as well, that they should just go for it and never give up on their dreams.
Yes, absolutely. And it's kind of meta that your podcast is called Dear Content Creator, and being a podcaster is a form of content creation as well as being a video podcaster, right? A lot of times people think podcasting is limited to just audio, and that is 100% very important, but now adding the element of video to podcast has really amplified the space even more. And so if you're thinking about starting, I remember when I started my podcast, it was actually video first, and then Gifted Media Productions reached out to me and we collaborated to make it audio focused. But just like you said, starting somewhere, and you could build, you could pivot, you could collaborate, you could meet other people and grow from there. And that's really the hope here at Black Podcasting Awards, to continue to just help and support content creators and just creators in general, right? How can we amplify creator voices through different mediums? And so we're really glad that we were able to have you come on and win this year. Any advice or any words of wisdom you'd like to leave to other content creators, aka podcasters out there?
Well, I would say definitely don't be afraid to ask for help. When I wanted to start this podcast, I reached out to people in my network who were more experienced with podcasting, helping me get the necessary gears that I had to get because I'm a one-woman show. So I want to say shout out to Shirley Joseph from the Black Canadian content creators. Also, shout out to my friend Chid from But What Do I Know? Because they were there with me on WhatsApp, helping me out with any questions I had, guiding me through the process. And lastly, to my husband, because when I wanted to give up and not record an episode, he's there like, no, babe, you got to do it. This is the commitment that you chose. So I got you. So just do it. And he's just really been a rock. So shout out to him. Can't forget him for sure. And my listeners, big ups to you guys. I love you all. And lastly, Black Podcasters Award. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Yes, you have to ask for help. You have to lean on your support system because we're all in this together. So thank you so much for jumping on with us tonight. Do we have any other winners here with us tonight that would like to come on and share with us?
I would like to share.
Yes, welcome.
My name is Tony Kennedy. My podcast is called Being Penny. It's actually an audio adventure for families and children 3 and up, which makes it a little bit different than the podcasts scene that we are getting used to right now and used to right now. And I like to thank all of you for recognizing the show and for all the help that you've given me in creating the show as well.
Yes, absolutely. And it's the concept that you have, like you said, it's a little different, but I think it's pushing the boundaries of what a podcast could look like, right? Like you said, it's an adventure show, so kids will feel the urge to come back. What made you format the podcast in that way?
Actually, it started in the Spotify kids and family incubation program. Dale Walker put out a call for kids writers, and there was no barring the entry. So you could be any age, any experience. She was looking particularly for people of color, women, queer people to fill those spaces with meaningful kids content, and thousands entered, and I was one of 10 that actually was chosen. And
Congratulations on that.
thank you. And I'm actually the only person to go on and make a podcast since the program closed.
Wow. Look at that. Thousands of people entered, one of 10 selected, and then the only one to continue, right? Like that is uniquely positioned, and now you've been awarded for that work. So what does it feel like to, win this award, and what's coming up next for you and your show?
It feels incredible, just to echo what people have been saying already, to be recognized by your own community. There is no higher honor than that for me. Um, I am just very humbled and very grateful to the BPA, and yeah.
No worries, no worries. We are glad to have you here with us. And any words of advice, any words of inspiration, wisdom that you'd like to share with the next generation of podcasters?
Um, I I would like to go back to your what's next,
Okay,
because
yes.
exciting things are on the horizon for What's Poppin' Penny. Right now, I am creating my very first book with the help of illustrator, the animator Chaz Bottoms from Chaz Bottoms Animation, featured in Forbes 30 Under 30. Um, and he also animated Hair Love
Oh,
as
nice.
as well as the short, award-winning short, Little Stories by Don Richards. So he's working with me to illustrate our first book based on the first episode, Bear Hugs. I'm also excited to grow the YouTube channel. I am in the process of looking to partner with someone in the American Sign Language community, so that children of all abilities are able to come into Penny's world.
Nice. That's beautiful. Just like you said, creating more accessibility in this space is essential. So that's really cool and very exciting. So make sure y'all check out What's Poppin' Penny for these upcoming and exciting news. And any final words you'd like to share with the audience tonight?
Yeah, just again, echoing a lot of what I'm hearing. As a 61-year-old grandma, um, don't count yourself out. Don't take yourself out, especially as a creative. Don't take yourself out of creative spaces because there's no expiration date on that. So, no matter what your age, follow your passion and continue to serve others.
Thank you so much. That was very well said. There is no age. Thank you so much for contributing and creating and allowing us to engage with your art. So thank you so much for being here with us tonight.
Thank you.
Do we have any other guests here with us tonight that would like to share about their podcast and the award they won tonight? Hello.
Host and creator of the Letters and Layers podcast, and I won Best Personal Development Podcast. So super excited for that.
Congratulations. And tell me a little bit more about what's going on for your podcast, what stage is it in, and what's going to be coming up next.
So I celebrated the 4-year anniversary of the podcast this year. I started it in 2021. Thank you. I'm approaching 100 episodes. I'll probably hit that in like January. Thank you. So yeah, it's not really a seasonal podcast. I post twice a month, and I know I can stick to that schedule. So I take like a month off in the summer and a month off in the winter So just been going consistently since 2021. And I am working on my YouTube channel. It's live, but I just need to work on like consistent video uploading and everything like that. I feel like that's the like next natural step.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just so happy because it's super validating. I feel like you're your own cheerleader with podcasting a lot of the time, especially when you're starting. And you really just have to continue to encourage yourself and be confident to keep going. But I appreciate BPA for the award. And I echo what everyone else has said, like, don't give up. I think 2 years ago I applied and I wasn't even nominated. And then last year I didn't apply, but this year I applied and I won. So you never know, you never know how things are gonna go. And yeah, I am so happy. This is probably one of the highlights of the year. Um, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. And, I feel like that's rightfully so the category you said, like, I upload twice a month. I prioritize my personal development. Very, very cool. I love that. And so, I'm loving how there are so many winners that said, I applied in the past. Maybe I skipped a year, maybe I skipped 2 years because this is the sixth year, y'all. So there probably are people that applied the very first year and then came back this year. So you don't have to always, apply every single year, but try again, right? Not because you get one no means that it's a forever no. And that is like an analogy to everything that we need to do in this space and in our work, right? As creators, as makers, as doers, one no could be a temporary closure of a door, and then you give yourself permission to try again, to put yourself out there again, and you never know what could come from that. So do you have any pieces of advice to leave with the audience? And then I'll pass it over to Demetrius from the Black Podcasting Awards team.
I would say know your why. Sometimes it's like you don't even want to turn on the microphone, but I know I do it for myself because when I was younger, I didn't really feel like what I had to say was important. So if like I'm struggling with, oh, do I really feel like recording? I'm like, I'm doing this for like my younger self,
Yeah.
And I think about that and it motivates me. So that's honestly what I would leave folks with. And also like don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like I record on a 10-year-old iMac. I have a microphone. I have, just one recording platform and here I am. So don't limit yourself. Don't think you need all the high-tech equipment. It's literally, not even doesn't have to be that crazy a setup. Just have faith in yourself and keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing tonight. And just to recap some of the themes that I've heard before I pass it over to Demetrius, and I'm going to be heading out for tonight, but it's been such an amazing honor to be here and see what this has grown into. And so just looming themes that we've seen tonight and just overall from the Black Podcasting Awards in this time period is start where you are with what you have, right? Do what you can and try again, right? Give yourself grace and give yourself the opportunity to say, I'm going to go out there. And even though it's not perfect, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to give myself a chance. I'm going to shoot my shot because I never know what will come from it. And creating the Black Podcasting Awards was the epitome of that. Us shooting our shot to see what could happen. And now to be here 6 years later, celebrating hundreds of podcasts, hundreds of podcasters, and reaching around the globe and continuing to amplify and connect Black voices is just something so beautiful to see. And it just took that one small action let's just do it, right? I know times are crazy right now. Literally started this in the middle of 2020 and we said, let's just do it. Let's just keep going and let's make this happen and come to a reality. So thank you so much. And it was great hosting and co-hosting here for the after party. Demetrius, I'm going to pass it over to you to take it for the rest of the night.
Much everybody, Georgianne, definitely for this and Friday night. Thank you for everybody who's here and has come through. I think London has logged out to go get some sleep. We've got at least 4 more. If we can, Gifted Sounds, can we do the video from Early Risers, then Lisa, then Ty, and then Stephanie? And then see if there's any cross chat because I don't know that most of you, I know a few of you have crossed paths virtually, maybe even in person, but I don't think most of you have connected. So maybe there's some crosstalk that we can do still live, because there's so much knowledge and experience, right, that we've heard a good bit about from all of you. Is that okay, Gifted Sounds, if we go to Early Risers video? If not, we'll go ahead to Lisa and we'll come back to the video when you're ready. Lisa?
For Georgianne for such a beautiful ceremony. It was such a beautiful ceremony in person and similarly beautiful this evening. And I I won 3 Black Podcasting Awards on Friday for Best Longtime Podcast. Started in 2019 and was going every single week until December of 2025. And someone said, the best shows aren't always on, right? And that someone was Crystal Hill, who is an amazing genius and lifesaver. I can honestly, truly say I would not have a podcast right now. I don't think if Crystal Hill had not taken my phone call in November of 2023 when I was crying in the airport, because I had had a separation from a previous collaborator. And she was like, stop crying in this airport before these people think that you crying over some baby daddy. What is wrong with you? You will be fine. Calm down. That next year in 2024, I won 4 BPAs and an Ambi and gold level signal awards. And I could not have done that had Crystal Hill told me to stop crying. So I just, it means so much to me to be honored by the people I am making the work for. It means so much more when it comes from those that you love and respect. I am grateful to Demetrius for being so patient, because as Georgianne says, in the beginning, like I would apply and I could, like I said, I couldn't, my reels, I'm like on Friday, it's like I couldn't get hit upside the head with a Black Podcasting Award. There was like sewing podcast, girl, what? But things grew, and Demetrius was patient and flexible, and it's just such, I feel really truly honored and grateful to Demetrius, to the Black Podcasting Awards, and to this beautiful community that I've been able to participate in and to meet in real life. Have had a chance to hang out with Ty and with Tony, and have heard so much about the amazing Clarks that I'm like, oh my gosh, one of them is here. Like I'm so excited. So again, it's a true honor. And I guess I would leave you with, as others have said, do not say no to yourself before anyone else says no to you. You're not saving yourself anything. I know for sure I sometimes get really worried or concerned, or, oh no, I don't want to. What if they say no? If you say no to yourself, the answer is always going to be no. So give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. Take the risk. The answer is always going to be no if you don't ask. So again, just sending out so much gratitude to this community, and thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I'll say a little bit more before we log off here about voicing. Gifted Sounds, I think, has the acceptance speech from Early Riser. So thank you, Gifted Sounds, really for everything. Gifted Sounds is Lance and Mickey. Um, they have both been here since the beginning and knew Georgianne before all this started. Literally from a tweet. I don't know if the tweet is still out there, but it was thousands of likes, I guess, since right in Twitter, not X, Twitter, and hundreds of comments. I think I have a PDF of some of it somewhere. Um, 'Cause that's how I roll. Voicing is so important, certainly for podcasting, and I'd love for any of you to muse on that after we hear from Ty and Stephanie. I don't know if there are any other winners this year that we haven't heard from. But Lisa's emails, I can't quite crisply see in my head today because there's a lot going on still, a lot of new emails I need to write, and graphics need to get out to you all and other folks. But her voice and to say, where's the category? With love, but also like I'm out here podcasting already. What can I apply to? And that helped me watch our peers as they added more categories, right? And that's part of how video got added this year, Maggie, which is a tricky because podcasting for us, I think Crystal is not on camera behind the scenes. How are we defining video podcasts? Because I know there are Instagrammers that have tried to apply to us before. We're not content creation awards, but I certainly would love um, to put a finger in that, maybe separately from this, but the RSS feed. But I'm getting it a little bit into the geekiness of podcasting that people may or may not be interested in, but they certainly can reach out if they are. Ty, I think you were here first. You want to share some words with us, and then Stephanie? And no pressure, anybody. Yes, I can. I would love a speech or two.
I got you. I got you. Well, hello, family. Welcome, welcome. I am Tyronza Hicks. Most of everybody knows me as Ty, and I won for Best Music Podcast, R&B and Chill. Um, First, I want to say I applied in 2023. I was about maybe 8 seasons in when I applied in 2023. I didn't get it. And again, to everybody here, that didn't deter me. I applied again in 2024. I didn't even get the nomination. So to this is a huge full circle moment for me. And just a quick story. I couldn't make it this weekend due to my lady. It's her birthday this weekend. And so I'm coming out the barbershop and I get this. I'm in my group chat with my UCG family, and Dom and Al Pete and Squared and Sean. And all of a sudden, Al Pete just hits us in the group chat like, "Time for the win, time for the win." And I'm like, "Time for the what? What are you talking about?" So at that point, I'm like, "Yo, stop playing. Like you this is you playing with me." And Dom says, "Not playing." And in the street, I'm saying, excuse my language, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," and crying because I've been podcasting for about, I want to say, 8 years. So I've done multiple shows. I have multiple shows, but this show specifically is my love letter to my favorite genre in music. I've been growing up in R&B since I was born. I think my favorite artist, due to my mother, is Mary J. Blige. So this show was a love letter. It started as a love letter to R&B, and it transformed into a show that is, to me, now for the culture and will always be for the culture. So I am so thankful to my podcast and family, my community, to the BPA, to Demetrius. Thank you so much for this honor. Um, we up. You understand what I'm saying? You can't say I'm not award winning now. You can't say that we're not all award winning now. So I am ecstatic. I'm happy, and I'm thankful.
Stephanie, go. Did you? I don't think we heard from you yet, have we?
Have not heard from me. I'm Stephanie. I won the award for Best Fiction Podcast, which was Alpha 8. So yeah, it's a show. I created the show wanting to kind of celebrate Black families and motherhood, all behind the lens of a sci-fi adventure. We're writing our second season now. But yeah, I wanted to say thank you, the Black Podcast Awards, for honoring the vision that we had, and thank my incredible cast and crew and sound team that poured a lot of their heart in every moment and did all the little extras that we needed to have in there. And I guess thank our listeners for believing in the story and sharing it out. So.
Much. Let's take this. I see it's about quarter after. Let's at least go to GSD. You tell me just these next 15 minutes. What are some of your real-time thoughts? I'm asking all you winners that are here, whether you're on camera or not, about what you're hearing from your fellow winners here. There's a variety of experiences, yet some very common production points, development points, I'll call that. Um, yeah, anybody?
Yourself, trusting yourself, believing in your voice. I think Anthony Clark mentioned this idea of that which you put out, the people, they will be not, it's not for everybody, but those who really, really resonate to it, it's almost like a magnetic, it's like magnets, they will come, you know what I mean? It's not, you don't need to have every single person in the world listen to your podcast, or to support it or to even sponsor it. You just need those that are going to be aligned, and to have yourself in the position to be aligned means kind of putting the work, putting it out there, and believing that your voice has value.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Someone else want to add to that or something else to share?
I would love to just echo what Lisa said, like just kind of trusting yourself and trying something. Like I never produced anything in my entire life. I just wanted to really make a show where my son, who's an actor, could like voice one of the characters, and then it just kind of went to town. Um, yeah, so and I my husband and a couple other people were like, just make. I wasn't able to submit to the BPA awards last year because the cutoff for how many episodes you needed or something like that was off. So this was my first time submitting. Yeah, and I think it's just really great to see so many of us like making some sort of creative, um, just kind of doing our own thing and just kind of like celebrating ourselves. I think that's really great. But I have to go, so it was nice meeting you all.
The community aspect of it. And it's when you have a community behind you, there's nothing you can't accomplish. But also, I want to add with podcasts, and I'm hearing you guys saying it. I think that the most important thing too is to have fun. Have fun. Because when you stop having fun, it becomes work. When it becomes work, that sucks. You don't want that. So if you have fun with it, the audience is going to have fun. So don't forget about that. Just keep having fun. Just wanted to add that. Oh, and by the way, and get a crystal on your team too if you can. That'll help.
And I know the YouTubers can't see our chat here in the Zoom room, but that's real talk, right? That
That's real
Anthony's
talk.
saying, and I think Maggie, sorry, Maggie, said Crystal is one of our Legend Award winners from 2024, and Crystal, and if you've been on this replay or just this live, Lisa shouted out Crystal during the ceremony. I think every award win you had Friday night live, and today, right, Sunday, 2 days later. And Crystal has been very, very supportive and instrumental in behind the scenes of what I'm doing. and continue to do in steering things forward for awards. So thank you for being here, Crystal. Thank you for supporting not just these at least two winners here, probably three or four, um, but just continue. And part of that is that advocacy, that cheerleading, that coaching. I think it's Dominic's speech, one of his speeches from Friday night, the carrots and the sticks, but not just to share her voice and her knowledge, which is vast and amazing, but real talk to keep going, keep improving, take a break. I heard you, Lisa. Take a break. And then I think one of the many great things I heard from Friday night and then on the replay today, I think Anna had at least Anna said it. Get yourself a team, get yourself support. I think it's very hard. It can be very hard to podcast or just I think any kind of creative production work. And I know it's getting more popular with quote content creation. That means a lot of things, but get yourself supporters in different ways. And if you can get you a Crystal, you'll go that much. Don't shake your head. No, it's true. It's true. Um, because she is out here and she's been out here, and she has many awards. I think I don't know if you still have the most awards. I know Dominic is collecting awards. Dominic has 42, not all from Black Pot Awards, from at least five different award shows, but he got 39, no, excuse me, 40, 41, 42 a Friday night. And didn't win all his categories. The one thing I want to say, I think I heard three or four of you say today, I think I heard a little bit Friday night, is right, because I can see all the things for better and for mostly, usually for the better. Some of these categories are tight. So it's not necessarily you're not good enough for any. I mean, I don't think it's that at all. It's a contest, it's a competition. Who gets that little bit of edge or who didn't quite have that edge? I'll call the name, hopefully, not get myself in trouble again. Oprah's a three-time nominee of ours in 2024, but did not win any of those three. That's a whole little conversation to itself, which is about community and indie versus corporate for the two of those three awards. But I'll quickly say the reel was a little odd to me that was submitted. It doesn't sound like it's right in front of her or her guest. It sounds like it's at the soundboard. That's not the best sound. Definitely not for this judge, me, Demetrius, and other judges. And there were some compelling, clearly competition. And that's also fun, right? We can have the biggest name, I would argue, with all the rest of us. And those voices are still as important, no offense to her, arguably more important, certainly with some of the headlines swirling around us. And on a flip side, competitive wise, some people are just walking in here and getting not that they don't have a great podcast, just getting it because they're not sufficiently uh, challenged for the win. I will not be outing those categories in those numbers. But right, you have to apply and build yourself up. Certainly not just for Black Pod Awards and not just podcast awards. You have to put yourself out there. I think a lot about housing, which I know is a complicated process with mortgage, one I haven't done, dating, getting a job, even just sometimes a volunteer spot. We have to apply for the chance to win because of no, if we've said it, I'm pointing to Lisa, if we tell ourselves no up front, the answer is no, which sometimes in different contexts I think needs to happen. But we have to step out there. So I appreciate that testimony, Maggie, and your husband saying, yeah, go ahead. And here you are, right, in a new category with a newer per se podcast than the rest of folks here. You don't know what will happen, and none of us do. Does anybody else want to add some wisdom or ask any questions? You have quite a collection of talent and experience right here live among the at least nine of you.
Be had. This one is booked and busy with all the free work that she is doing. Second, I am a very appreciative person for the way that one, my phone was blowing up on The night of the awards, I was just outside living my best life in Los Angeles with my home and my expensive mortgage. So there is that. Um, so I do thank all the people who have thanked me, but I think the important part when people are podcasting is Anna Deshawn, the greatest person in the history of the world, the nicest person in the history of the world, I will say of Anna Deshawn, um, did say get yourself a team. And teams can be how you make them, whether they are paid or unpaid. Um, and really, that can turn into just get yourself a community. Don't stay out here podcasting by yourself. It's not fun. You're gonna learn to hate it eventually, and podcasting is supposed to be fun. Like Anthony said, Anthony is one of the most fun men to ever be like around in the history of the world. Also, just a pleasurable man of a person. Also, like 6'4", very tall. It makes me feel incredibly small to stand next to him and his wife, who is also tall. Um, but get yourself a community, whether that's the Black Podcasters Association is a great place to start, whether that's hitting up Lisa. Again, don't hit me up. I am full. Hit up Lisa, see if she will be your community. There are plenty of people who will help you, even if you're just like, hey, I would love for you to listen to this of mine. Um, Awards are fun. I love winning awards. I think this weekend puts me up to 19 or 20 Black Podcasting Awards. I don't count. Dominic loves to count. I am not a counter. I stopped counting because it's not why I do this. Um, but awards are just like the validation for the product that you're making. The product, the audience is your validation. The people who are listening, every person who says thank you for this, that's why you're doing this. I'd assume might be a hobby. And if you're doing it for a hobby, I love those people. Those people are my favorite people, the people who are just doing it for fun. Um, those are really, truly my favorite podcasters. So like the awards are great. Ty can tell you, Ty's lost a lot of awards. And every time, but he kept going. And I think that's the thing. Lisa also lost a lot of awards. And it's easy to get discouraged. And I think discouragement is what will stop a lot of people. And I think just for anyone watching who entered and didn't win, it's like it's not a like a validation of your worth as a podcaster. It just means that, like this round, someone thought somebody else's podcast was better than yours. Another human who has comes in with their own internal biases thought that another podcast was better than yours. Like we all judge and we all judge differently. And that goes for any award category that you win or enter. Um, and so this might not be your round, but always come back. Always bet on yourself. I had to tell Lisa that. It's like you have to believe in your content and your show enough to bet on it. Because if you're not the person who thinks that you're good enough to win, nobody else is going to think that you're good enough to win. That has always been the way that I tell people that I mentee whether they should enter or not. Is like if you don't think it's good enough to win, it doesn't matter what you submit to. Because no one else is going to think it's good enough to win. You have to be your biggest cheerleader 100% of the time. Because even if you don't win, at least you knew that you were the best person going in there. And that's how you have to walk these streets, especially as a Black podcaster. Like, especially as a Black podcaster. It's always going to be harder for you 100% of the time. Um, but I want to congratulate everyone who won this weekend. I want to congratulate everyone who was nominated. I want to congratulate if you just took that step and submitted and didn't win. Because submission is like that first step that says you took your bet on yourself. Because that part is hard. Submitting is hard, especially when you don't know what's on the other end. But don't come find me. Find Lisa Wolfork. It's Black Women Stitch on Instagram. She is ready for mentees.
A word as always, or a few. Thank you, Crystal. Um, I'm going to say one or two things and then at least stop the live stream if you want to continue talking privately or not. And to that, for all the winners and the nominees, look for I'll do some private, maybe Google Meet since I have that handy as opposed to Zoom. So you can, we can do breakout rooms and such. There's a lot of collaborations that could happen and just knowledge exchanges. Just like, I love what you're doing. There's some in the private chat without reading it since it is a private chat. But thank you, Tony, for shouting out one of your winners here. I really love seeing that. Please support Black podcasters and also content creators if you're watching this. Doesn't matter if it's live or the replay. It's a different walk, as Crystal said, or run or whatever it is for each of us. If you haven't watched the ceremony, you'll hear me say towards the end, Black podcasts are less than 1% from what I see so far, and I have been looking a lot at it. Even if we hit a full percent of almost 6 million podcasts of this recording, and we're 12% of the, if I've got it right, US population, 14 globally. We need more. That doesn't matter in active, inactive, which is important, but that's a whole different slice of data. We need more voices, and we have to keep our winners going as much as they want to go, and taking breaks and sometimes pivoting to a different concept, getting a co-host or letting a co-host go, or what have you. So if you're a listener, irrespective if you're a podcaster or even a watcher of different content creation, please shoot them a DM or at least comment. I know most people don't. I think it's less than 1%. I saw a stat the other day. Please let them know. They can see you're out there, right, from some of the stats. But just this touched me. This made me laugh. This made me cry. This made me think. This made me feel seen. Whatever it is, that goes a long way on the other side. That goes a long way. I can definitely say that as a nonprofit lead now in a different lane, but very, very, very similar. Since most of the work that you all do, award-winning work that you all do, and what I do isn't seen by, it isn't supposed to be seen by the public. Maybe that's true for any job these days. Does someone want to have the final word besides myself, and then we'll end the live stream part of this? Okay, we will leave it there. May 26th, 2026, applications will open again, at least that first day for $26. It's not hard to start a podcast, is what I want to say, or restart one. It's maintaining it. I think a lot about marathons and other runners, even though I'm not a runner, but I've talked to numbers over the years. Yeah, look for more from us. We'll be quiet for a minute. I need some rest and to recharge and to check in with the winners privately and get some of y'all some awards who didn't join us in Baltimore on Friday. Yeah, there'll be more from us. We are a year-round business, even though that's a whole different approach for awards because there's a lot to do. I want to try to get us to a full, for sure, 1%, if not two or three by the end of this decade, and help people fix their sound, which Crystal and I could have a whole rant about probably right now. And also, I think, I don't know if you said that, Amak, or who said today, try to imagine a dartboard is what I see in my head a lot of what you're aiming for and then who would pay attention to that dartboard. Lisa said it more beautifully, that alignment. You'll be surprised what starts happening. And don't try to have a million views or listeners or clicks or whatever. Not that that's not fine. It's very powerful to have 50 people listening to you every week or every other week or even every month and keep coming back. That means, I think Tony said this and or someone else, that means they're getting fed. And that's not necessarily what you would do in real life to have 50 people over to your house every week, I presume. I might because I roll kind of like that, although I'm not set up like that. And I like that. But that's really powerful and needed in these, whoo, child, truly, truly, truly curious times. So we can have our hobbies and we can have our learnings about love. We can have our reflections. I'm pointing to a mark with that. We can reflect and on music greats passing away. Music greats. I heard you on the D Train tie from a minute ago. Learning how to content create better with Maggie. Learning how to persevere, if that's the right verb, Kristen. And just an imagination. One of the things I love about your podcast, Tony, What's Poppin' Penny, is there's imagination there. I feel that's so challenged right now in so many different ways, not the least of which is politically by too many. And I don't just mean the obvious folks. Imagination, definitely one of our God-given gifts. Thank you all so much. Please be in touch. I love email. I enjoy DMs. I'm just not as savvy with them as email. Email, of course, has been around later. Yeah, I'll leave it there. GSD, we can end the live stream, but let's leave the room open if the winners want to visit.